Evening all, welcome to Kicking Dust. So this one actually only happened last night, and I thought I'd bring this to you quite quickly. So in terms of a life cycle, it's from controller to video to game to video, I don't know, whatever, in the matter of probably about a few hours actually. Reason I'm doing this is because it was one of those kind of rare matches. Because well, effectively. We had some celebrities in this one. We had our CCP Logibro and CCP Sox 4. Fox 4. Sorry. And I thought it would be good just to show you them owning it up. So this is pretty much what this map is about. We're also going to use this map. I didn't record comms because I thought that would be rude, because obviously, you should tell people if you're recording comms. But we shall certainly try and do that next time. But I think really, this is just a good example, I think, of some of the franticness of Dust as it happens. And I think, this map particularly is a particularly tricky one. Let's talk about this map. This map, I think, is excellent in terms of the way it's being done, in terms of the multi-level, the multi-room, the internal and external combat. It's fantastic. It really is very good. I think it's just the problem I have with it is I get lost, and I think you just need to be very familiar with these things. And I think that's probably my issue with this particular map. However, later on, you'll see we actually turn this to slightly our advantage, as you'll see in just a moment. It's a domination, and it's against some pretty good people, to be honest with you. It's probably high tier, let's say. So we saw very quickly that we were losing. We were losing by quite a bit. And I think this is certainly one of the kind of fun parts of domination. Don't do enough domination, in fact. I think domination is probably one of my favourite game modes, because it does cause incident. It does make people fight, and I quite like that. I think the problem with skirmish, and certainly I think, well, less so with ambush, but certainly the problem with skirmish is people can hide and they can kind of keep away. I don't think that stops anything here in domination, but it just kind of concentrates everybody to a single point, and that I think works quite well. So I think that that combined with obviously having a very good opposing team turned this into quite a challenge, which I must admit I wish I hadn't done, having drunk a very nasty bottle of cheap wine, because it really did mess with my head. But it was good. We jumped into the CCP gang. I think my comment about dev hacks over a very good kill didn't go down too well, so I'd like to apologise for that. It was a joke, honest to God, it was a joke. Anyway, I think it's a good thing really, because it's nice to see the CCP guys playing the game with such gusto, and they're actually pretty good at it as well. I think it was a real joy to kind of play with these kind of dudes, and I think hopefully they do more of this, because it's really great to see the game's creators actually playing the game, because I'm sure there's 101 things you can learn from watching other people do it, but I'm sure if you play it yourself it's an entirely different experience. So I think as terms of this map and how it's going, we're obviously losing really badly. So I came up with this kind of little tactic. I noticed this a few months ago, probably when the map came in. The two silos have an elevated kind of gantry, and I thought, oh, that's good for scouts, particularly because you do need I think you just can only get in here with a scout suit. I could be wrong. Post in the comments if I've got that wrong, but you jump in from a kind of access port where B would be in skirmish, if that makes sense, and you land on here, and then what you can do is drop spawn pads, and then you're kind of set and good to go. It's a bit sneaky, I know, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to rush solo into this group of proto-stomping puppies with just my scout suit. I'm going to get absolutely nuked, and I die a huge amount because, again, I stick to the scout suit. I keep trying with it. And I've got to admit, the scout suit isn't feeling great. I put it down to aim assist, which again I don't have a problem with. I think you should. I'm glad they brought that in to a degree now, because it does mean more people can play it. When you look at the supremacy that mouse and keyboard had, it was a little bit OP. This ability to run through people like ridiculous, crazy levels, I think is good that that's gone. But I would say that all it's kind of done is force the arms race back towards assault suit, mega tank suits, etc. So my poor little scout suit here is just utterly gimped, and there's nothing really I can say more about that. I wouldn't say it's gimp's the wrong word, but it's just not great. So I think as it stands, the scout suit I'm using it every time I can, but I am actually now using my assault suit more so. And the assault suit is quite good fun, actually. I think you can do quite a lot with the assault suit, so heartily recommend it. And unfortunately, it is the Caldari assault suit because I've got shield skills. I know. But we'll see. I mean, I'm probably not going to go kind of too crazy with it because I think I still prefer the run and gun style of play. But I'd love a little buff to scout suits. It really would. Maybe just reduce their thinness a bit. Maybe just really ratchet up those straps on the back of my gimp suit, so I'm just that little bit thinner. That'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. I think it's a tricky one. Now let's talk about the Flaylock. The Flaylock is still awesome. I can't believe people don't use these things more. All I've done this map is use my Flaylock, and as you can see, it's just wiping out Proto quite nicely. Because if you're good with it, if you've got a good aim, you can still do a massive amount of damage with this thing. Let me be clear. I do have, I think, level 5 and level 4 proficiency on it, so you would expect it to be good. But I would say, just stood here in the elevated position, the only other thing that would probably been better would have been a mass driver, and that's the truth of it. That's the beauty of it, almost, because I think there's definitely something pretty cool about shooting down on a target, and I think it'd be nice to have a bit more of that, the ability to kind of get elevated and then kind of shooting down. Mass drivers at the moment I think are quite good. I think you're seeing a lot of people using them, but less so, to be honest. I mean, when maybe 1.4 came out, I think something maybe changed there, because all of a sudden they went from being pretty much proliferated all the way down to you see them a couple in a match now, which is strange because I can only imagine something changed that made them less able to hit or something, or vice versa. Post in the comments, because I'd love to know what the story is with mass drivers. I did see them hugely, and then all of a sudden you don't see them much at all, so I'm curious to know what the hell's going on. I think in terms of some of the other weapons, I think the AR is still probably the best weapon in the game. I think I'm still running it, I know, because I know I kind of gave a bold sweeping statement that I'm going to go back to shotgun, but I tried it for about 3-4 days, and I lost so much ISK, it's not even funny. And the reality is that there's definitely something not quite right with the hit detection on it, and I don't know what it is. I know I've seen a lot of threads in the forum about it. There is definitely something wrong. So as much as I love to shotgun and I love the nature of shotgunning, it's just not working. I mean, I'm running around corners and I'm shooting somebody in the face, and on my screen it looks like I've perfectly hit them in the center of the body. The game registers that they hit, it hits them because obviously the shield or whatever flashes blue, but the hit detection doesn't appear, so they actually don't lose any health. And then in that time they've pretty much aimed at me, and then they're firing with their aim assisted ARs, and I'm dead. So the whole thing doesn't work anymore. But how could you fix that? Because I don't think you should remove aim assist. So you know what I mean, it just doesn't feel right. So until the game kind of gives you the mechanics that kind of that make it more viable, I think I'm going to stick with AR, because the AR really does feel quite good. And I use mouse and keyboard, I don't use aim assist, so I'm not great with it, but when my eye is in and I've not drunk too much, it's actually pretty good, because you feel as if you've got quite a powerful gun in your hands. Obvious joke. There's a few like this. I think things like the plasma cannon, it feels a little bit the same as well. They're not broken. None of these things are broken. I think it's just maybe something isn't quite right with maybe the mechanics and maybe the graphics that's going with it. I don't know. Maybe there's a mismatch there, but I don't think it's necessarily broken, because ironically sometimes I'll play with the shotgun and I'll get 4 kills in a row, all of them headshots, and that's the weirdness of this game sometimes. And I wonder if it's maybe a bit of lag, maybe it's my connection, which is as close to comical as you can get. So who knows. We'll look into that. I think there's something pretty awesome about a lot of the guns, so I don't really want to just go into one gun, but I just am amazed at how accurate people are, unfortunately, nowadays with these things. So there we go, we lost. CCP, come on, what are you doing? I'm joking. It was a great match, and I think, against some very good opponents, I must admit, really good. And I'm actually just happy that I went positive on the old KD there, because it was quite a frantic match, to be honest with you. And I think, also an amazing, good fun one. It's always good to see kind of really good, challenging domination matches, because it really does kind of get your heart pumping. It gets you kind of up there. And as you can see, I came below both of them. Oh, so embarrassing. Although I died a lot less than they did. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll certainly do a lot more of these. And I think, you know, a lot of the kind of stuff that's going on in the game at the moment is really good stuff. And I think, you know, we should be engaging hugely more positively with what's going on. I know I think it's just, I did read the forums lately, and it does seem that people are kind of being a bit more open and less, you know, whingy whiny. So, you know, it's nice to see. But hopefully you're all enjoying the game as well. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.